and welcome back to another Wi-Fi Sheep tech video with me, Tom. Now in today's video we are going to revisit the C64 Mini, which you may remember I did a review video on shortly after it came out here in Europe, and trust me, I wanted to like this product. I really wanted to like it, and I was bitterly disappointed, as were many others, when it slightly fell short. Well, since then the product has released in North America. That was literally about a week ago, so I think it was early October. It released in North America, October 2018. And there was a firmware update which improved and tried to fix a number of the issues. So in today's video, we're going to look at trying to load that new firmware and see if it really does improve the product and make it more usable. I also want to have a look at the joystick, which for me on this product was a real issue. Apparently some third-party joysticks, which I may actually have lying around, may now work with this. So we'll have a look and see how we get on. As mentioned in my previous video, the C64 Mini is extremely well packaged and presented, coming in a really nice printed and embossed cardboard sleeve and inner box. The build quality of the unit itself is also very good, although the Mini's keyboard is just for show and not actually working. One down point is I really don't like the joystick. It's slow, clunky and horrid to use. Anyway, using my Mac and going over to thec64.com, from the C64 Mini menu option we find upgrades. From here you can download the latest firmware for the device. After downloading, I copied the .bin file along with some game files over to a USB stick, after which I plugged the stick into the second of the C64 Mini's USB sockets. Switching the device on, you're meant to scroll down to the settings icon, select system information, and the option to install new firmware should appear. However, this didn't work. So it was back to my Mac and a second USB stick, this time reformatting the whole drive to MS-DOS FAT format. Okay, let's do a full setup of the C64 Mini. I'm using a really cheap off-the-shelf USB hub. I'll plug the new USB stick into the second socket. I'm going to add a working USB keyboard plugged into the hub. And in place of the joystick, I'm going to use an SNES USB clone controller. These apparently work very well and can be found very cheaply online. Okay, back to that firmware update, which this time works, but my capture card crashed, so I don't have any footage of the install. That said, now with a working USB stick put into the C64 Mini, a new icon appears on the main menu. This opens the loader and shows all the files and ROMs compatible with the C64 Mini. So let's load the disk image of revs. And there we go, it loaded. However, I had issues using the USB keyboard and had to resort to the virtual keyboard to get anywhere. And once in the game, Revs has an odd clutch system which is tricky to master on the BBC Micro version. Here on the C64, I just can't get anything going. The mapping of the controller is also a little odd. Okay, let's try something more accustomed to here in Europe, loading a tape image or .tap image file. This is one of my all-time favourites and ported to everything, Lemmings. And it did work, and to be fair, the C64 Mini did a very good job of emulating the pain, slowness and misery of trying to load anything off tape. After about a minute, we got some squiggly lines. 2 minutes in, the first publisher logo. 3 minutes in, the second. The best part of 8 minutes later, we get the beautifully animated opening titles. And then almost 10 minutes later, almost there. And, oh, a copy protection screen. Common on tape releases at the time. Damn. Sometime later, after scrabbling around, I found a code that might work, although it was shorter than the number of spaces on the screen. Well, it did something, but now the title screen is frozen and I can't do anything. So after 15 minutes, I think that's it for this one. I bet you're really glad I didn't make you watch the whole thing in real time. Finally, we'll take another look at C64 Basic. This is a really nice feature, not seen on many of the mini consoles. The ability to code real BASIC and program the machine. Here I'll just do the famous and super simple print goto program. If you're going to use BASIC, then you're really going to need a USB keyboard, as plotting each character using the virtual one would be a real pain and horribly slow. Okay, just finished up, now we'll type run. And there we are. As with most basics, hitting escape will break most loop cycles the computer might be in. But yeah, very workable and a nice feature of the C64 Mini. So after a little bit of a bother getting set up, it's finally working and I am genuinely surprised. The improvements really are generally improvements. It's working a lot better. I can actually use this and look forward to actually playing some of the games now. Loading software, a lot easier than it was. Okay, we didn't have a huge amount of success with the games I chose. That's not necessarily the hardware's fault. There is some compatibility issues with some games, but all in all, I am really impressed. I can actually now recommend the C64 Mini. So if you've had one like me, especially here in Europe, sitting on the shelf gathering dust for 3 months because of the bad experience starting out, get it back out, follow the video. There's loads of help online as well, on various Facebook groups. A whole new buzzing community seems to be building up around the product. Give it another go. And that's just about it for me for today here on Wi-Fi Sheep. So thanks so much for watching. As ever, don't forget to like and subscribe. And we'll see you real soon right here on the channel. Until next time, bye for now.